Conventional wisdom typically states when you're in a tough situation, be careful, don't do anything too drastic. Joe Cross was a guy, he'd lived a high life, he was doing very well financially, and in his early 30s he realized he had a problem. He was over 100 pounds overweight, he had a terrible skin disease he couldn't get rid of, had massive steroids to try to deal with that. One day he made a decision, said this is ridiculous, nature makes the cure. So in 60 days he did something most people would say is unreasonable. He went off all solid foods, got a juicer, and for 60 days he juiced fresh fruits and vegetables. What happened? Well, in 60 days, he lost 90 pounds. That's right, 1.5 pounds a day. My belief is you're 100 pounds overweight, why take 3 years to knock it out when you could do it in 60 days? He did this under the care of a doctor, of course, but most people would say that's unreasonable. In sports, you see it all the time. Edon Ravine is the hoops whisperer. Excellent book, I recommend it. I've gotten to know him over the last couple years, and he has some of the top NBA clients from Kevin Durant to Blake Griffin. Now, why would they go to Edon, a guy who is a white guy like me who never played basketball? They go to him because he knows how to work them out. He does not deal with baby steps. He deals with extreme confusion in a very positive environment to get the best out of these players. And it trains their bodies and their mind to be their best. Was recently down in Australia. Sally Pearson is the world and Olympic champion in the 100 meters hurdles for women. And I read an article about her, how she trained. She used to train so hard, literally said would make her sick. How did she train? Why did she train so hard? In the hurdles, there's 10 hurdles, right? She would train 12 hurdles every time. Every time she would go 20% farther than the people she was competing with. What's your 11th hurdle? What's your 12th hurdle? We've got a crisis in America and also all over the world with heart disease and type 2 diabetes. Most people, you ask them, hey, can you reverse heart disease? They're not sure. Can you reverse diabetes? There's 2 types of diabetes in America. We've got 1 million more people a year being diagnosed as type 2 diabetics. Type 1, we're still not sure how that happens. It's managed with drugs, of course. Type 2 is a lifestyle, I'm not sure how they call it disease when you give it to yourself, but they call it a, quote, disease. Of the diabetics, 95% are type 2 diabetics, and they gave it to themselves. A couple of years ago, I was doing a program with one of the major drug manufacturers, and they brought in pediatricians who were helping treat type 2 diabetics. You notice I didn't say primary care physicians, I said pediatricians. These are doctors treating children now who are getting type 2 diabetes. And it was fascinating because I did my program. It was about getting a compelling vision, a clear game plan, confronting brutal facts, getting really clear on what you want to accomplish, writing it down, measuring it, tracking it, and getting your result. And I talked to them, I said, how many patients go out of your office knowing they gave this the disease of themselves, that they can step up, own that, and they can take clear actions to reverse this disease? You know what the answer was? Virtually zero. The whole focus is after you get that, how do we manage it? It's typically with drugs. So, what's the call to action for you? Where do you need to step up and quit taking baby steps? What is a decisive decision you could make today to start doing things more drastically? With heart disease, if you study Dr. Dean Ornish and what he did, the people who got, for example, coronary bypass, we have over 600,000 people in America get that. The people after a coronary bypass who took little baby steps and tried to get better, they didn't get better. They thought they were doing what it took, but they didn't see any results, and they went right back to the lifestyle that brought it on. The people who took sudden, quick, radical action, changed diet, changed how they exercise, got motivated because, man, they got results, and they got better and better and better. You will see radical changes if you take some more radical approaches. Get out and make it happen today.